Way downtown, walking back. Uh, what's up, everybody? Let's see. Shoot. Let me see what we've got to do today. Sorry I'm late. I just slept through 2 of my alarms. I was okay missing the morning stream. I was pretty tired this morning, but I ended up sleeping till like 1. Um, South became Rot, tweaked Cactus Den. Let's see, we gotta do Fort Mirage today. Yeah, I've gotta quit a whole lot of stuff. Um, what did I do? I moved it up here, I think. So, yeah, I uh, I was looking at because I uploaded all the videos yesterday. By the way, let me know how I sound because I turned up my microphone gating, so there should be less background noise. But I also increased uh, my mic and my desktop sound, so I should be coming through clearer. But I was looking at last night after I uploaded all the videos. Like 3 or 4 of them had copyright claims on them, and I was like, man, fuck, that's not a good way to start off. So I had to go through today and edit all of them. Luckily, the studio Um, YouTube Studio is pretty good on that. They allow you to just cut those pieces out. But yeah, I did find that pretty annoying having to deal with a copyright claim. It was like, and it was literally like 2 fucking seconds. Um, Let me see. Barracks, buildings, power. I guess I can't put them there, can I? Because I have to. Uh-oh, where did you go? I didn't place one? Maybe. Alright, now I can do this. change the interior to Mirage. And I'll make you smaller. Let me see. Fort Mirage done. Rod is done. Port South is done. Did I delete Mechamore? No. Mods, Genesis, level data. Uh, 3043. Oh, I bet you the town marker's just there. Okay, let me save this. We'll go to Mechamore. What's everyone been up to today? When I when I uploaded those videos on YouTube yesterday, uh, the subscriber count and everything jumped up, like the views and everything. The How to Build a City has almost 10,000 views on it, so that's good. Glad it's helping out the community. Millennia. I cannot wait to get into Elden Ring. I really can't. I think I've got maybe another week before I'm able to get it. Um, Gunpowder, if you have a second, give me 1 second. I'll finish this off, and I'll show you what I've been doing to the Holy Nation. Um, where are we at? The bone pile, because there is one thing I really want players to get into. Crazy. If you are, is this your first Elden Ring playthrough? If it is, and you want, if you're okay with a little bit of spoilers, if you don't watch him already, go and watch Lobos Jr. Basically the day Elden Ring came out, I was in his streams watching it. And then if I wasn't watching his streams, I was watching the VODs of the streams. He takes such a good like critical role. But you'll want to watch his first playthrough, not his secondary and third and fourth playthroughs. His second one was like soul level 1. His third playthrough was like bow only. Started immediately doing challenge runs. What the fuck am I looking for? The bone pile. Alright, so let me see. We will go to. I think I've got to get rid of Misthold. I think we can just jump to Blister Hill and see it. So, if you don't know, I added a couple new Holy Nation assets. We can also check and see if that ellipsis dialogue is gone. Since I deleted that whole tree, it should be fixed. They may not say anything now though, so but at least it's not spamming the player's screen. Um, Let me see. Yeah, if so I don't want to give you tips, but I'm just saying that uh, if you want to learn something about Millennia, feel free to watch him. But his playthroughs are super interesting. So we'll unpause, let everybody spawn in. So let me see. I don't know why he doesn't have a shirt. So basically, we now have Azazels, make Holy Nation great again. We have Miss Cat's Holy Nation expanded, and we have Elwo's um, Sacred Band mod. So basically, uh, Ranger, Ranger, Ranger. They won't have the feathers on their cap. Ranger, and they wield the Holy Nation Arblast, I think it's called, or spears. Um, they'll sometimes have sticks, and they'll sometimes have uh, whatever this sword is, the sacred sword. Um, because this armor is obviously lighter than the metal plates that the guys wear. Um, so these are group leaders. They wear the red. They're the Inquisitors. Um, these guys are these guys are your standard knights. They'll wear mostly this armor, but they have a chance to have different armor pieces on. This guy's the heavy. These guys are a little bit lighter. Um, and then you have the priests, and the priests will um, whenever you get uh, like raided with the prayer day, these guys will be leading the charge, and they'll have like a whole. different group mix up. Let's see. So some of the guys, um, they'll wear, these are the nomad pants, and they have color masks on, so um, they'll they'll automatically color to their faction. Let me see. He's in heavy white armor. He's a high paladin. Um, Same setup. And then the citizens. Let me see. I don't know why he's shirtless. Oh, because he's a mercenary recruit. Um, and then you also have your holy servants. So your holy servants wear a variation of, excuse me, a large variation of clothes. They're better rangers than the sacred band guys are. Let me see. So two high paladins. Sit the right way. I've got to change this guy's armor. Let me see. He's mostly surrounded by high paladins. High paladins will also have um, variations in their armor. Um, and the citizens, I think, have the largest variation. Police station. She is randomly working. Holy servant. I've got to change all the residential buildings to the new buildings. I don't think any of the new citizens are going to spawn. Because these are just the old guys. And I've also got to limit their face masks. Yeah, it doesn't look like any of the new guys are spawning. But basically, they have like fancier clothes. They have cleaner clothes. Um, None of them will spawn. I think almost none of them do. Yeah, so like this is one of the new shoe assets. Um, they may have sandals on, but they'll mostly wear. I think I might make them wear the shoes instead of sandals because sandals are kind of a desert thing. Um, I think I'm just gonna leave doctors as they are. But the basic idea is to give citizens more of a cultural identity. Actually, I should be able to go to um, who the fuck am I looking for? Stack? Maybe stack. There will also be a new start. Where you'll start off with like 20 characters, and you'll be a high inquisitor with the red armor, leading a couple lower level tier people, um, and they'll automatically you'll have like good reputation with the Holy Nation and stuff like that. You'll start off with a holy book. There's also an item added by Miss Cat called the Holy Seal, and it's got a nice icon. I think I'm gonna use that as a quest item for the Phoenix. Um, the Phoenix will give you the Holy Seal, which will allow you into certain places when you have it, like Ocaran's Trap and stuff like that. You'll go and talk to a guy there uh, with the Holy Seal, um, and it'll probably take. So that if you don't know, the way I tend to do things is the Holy Nation, because of how religion works in Kenshi and the lore behind it. Almost everybody is an Akronite, even if they don't want to admit it. Um, because of the general premise of the Holy Nation, almost everyone in the world is an Akronite, except Sheks and Hivers. But if you're human, you generally will pray to Akron or Narco. But basically, so this is the Holy Nation's region, and then down here, you're going to, in the lure, you're going to have the Sacred Band Exiles. Um, and they'll give you a little bit of backstory why they came down here to help out the Fish Islanders. Um, turns out that the leader was outcast because he said something to offend the Phoenix, and his group left with him. That's where the armor comes from. They'll give you the blueprint, and then you'll go and you'll take over Fish Island, and a city will be rebuilt there for the Fish Islanders. So the idea is that eventually, when you go to Khatun or Morn, you'll see a lot of Fish Islander refugees, and they bitch about how their city was taken over by fishmen, and they weren't able to hold them back, and blah blah blah. And then so this will be one of the only extinction events um, in Genesis. Basically, you'll just clear out this entire zone of fishmen. Um, within a within a certain, like, you'll still have small nests spawn, um, and then you'll have yeah. You'll have fish islanders wandering around bitching about how they lost their city. In all the areas over here, you'll see them constantly getting into fights and stuff like that. Um, and then when you finally do take the island back, you'll have a good ally. Um, there will be a split decision you can make. You can get them to move back here, which is probably what most players are going to do, or you can have them move back. You can have them move over here to Raptor Island, um, because they have weapons that are good against raptors. And then later down the line, the quest line will eventually diverge, and your quote unquote uh, faction will eventually take over Fish Isle, and you'll eventually get to the point where you expand. Um, what am I looking for? You'll expand the hub, and the Outlaws will eventually take over Nublar, Fish Island, and other places like that, like very out of the way places. And the idea is that you'll have four main choices in the world. So you ally with the UC, the UC takes over the world, or you take over the world with the UC. If you ally with the Holy Nation, you'll have the Holy Nation take over the world. If you ally with the Shek will take over the world, just in a general premise. And then the minor factions, to some degree, will ally with you depending on what you have going on. If you ally with the tech hunters and you're fighting with the UC, the tech hunters will want promise that the UC won't interfere with them. The Holy Nation, the tech hunters will hate you because, you know, that's farther down the road. Um, Let me see. Boron is working on some new assets for the Shek, so I may end up using those assets and just do a building swap for all the Shek cities for the Shek faction. Um, The hub quest will not be expanded this update, no. um, because the next step in the hub quest um, relies on so basically the first step is to get the hub situated. So eventually, when you end up clearing out the region, you end up creating a lot of chaos. And so once that chaos starts in this region, then you'll get the choice to ask a bigger faction for help. So the UC, the Shek, or the Holy Nation. Um, and depending on what you do, it'll start a massive chain reaction. That's how I kind of want the the playthrough to go. But I also have to work on the world states behind the scenes because say you ally with the United Cities, but you also kill all the United Cities nobles and stuff like that. I need a contingency plan for the players, because they've already allied with the United Cities. They can't go to the Holy Nation and they can't go to the Shek for help. So I have to create like each, I'll call them a world check, each major world check for like building your faction from the hub, the outlaws building the outlaws from the hub into other worlds, other towns, I mean, will have a lot of world state checks, a lot of faction rep checks and stuff like that. But there's also like Boron's doing a lot of cool stuff. So world states are a future endeavor. Some of these world states, uh, like the swamp, I can do the swamps very easily. Um, Let it be self-contained. Give players a directed path. Um, and then at the end of that directed path, when players get there, then connect it back into the greater world. Um, Same thing with like the wetlands and the southern region here. Um, but it'll come down to uh, how players start off and how they start the hub quest. So if players allies with the Holy Nation, the hub will automatically hate them. So I need those checks and balances in place because they are outlaws. And the hub is a war zone between the United Cities, the Shek, and the Holy Nation. So you have to have good rep with one of the big factions in order to get the hub to trust you and thus one of the other big factions. One of the big factions they'll never ally with is the Holy Nation. Um, and then I need to tie that into um, the small sanctuary quest that happens in here. Um, Basically, when you go here, you learn about escaped holy slaves, and then you talk to them, and they're like, "Hey, there's a sanctuary out here." So what I'll probably end up doing is moving sanctuary to like here, one of the gatherer villages. This will stay the same. This will stay the same. High village here will stay the same. But basically, take some of the smaller hive villages out. I might put another hive village in here so that it looks like the Western Hivers have a really large piece of control, because they obviously don't with Sten Desert. Let me see. What else do we need to do? Oh, Boron, hold on. Where am I at? Boron sent me some new assets. Some of these are basic stuff we already have. So I got more storage containers. He said these are Holy Nation and check assets. I think this is green fruit, uh, iron maybe, med boxes, different storage containers, um, probably new tooling stations. Armor forged for holy vendors, holy armor. Um, Likely Holy Nation stuff. This looks like Holy Nation stuff. So holy tools and armor. This looks like Holy Nation stuff, more mahogany type stuff. Um, yeah. Oh, that was Empire Luxury. Um, I've got to reach out to Katarina and see if she ever started on those assets um, that we were talking about. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. Shit, what was I doing? I need to clean up Morn, so we can go to Morn. Let me see. One thing I do need to do is check the nav mesh. Um, Once this update releases, I've got to get back in touch with a lot of people. Crazy. Um, and one of the things I want to do is touch base with Operat on the Sten Giants. At the very least, if I get the assets he was already working on, I can post them to the Discord and we can start working on them together again. Can't go there. I don't want them trying to go there. why are you? Hello? Delete this. Oh, enter your edit. Delete this. Let's turn off nav mesh. We'll turn off foliage again. In case any of you are wondering, I absolutely despise these fucking fences. I really do. They look so fucking bad. So in case if you're wondering what I'm doing, the idea is to reduce the assets, which will increase or decrease the loading times without removing too much. Damn it, I didn't want to do that. Alright, put the goddamn wall back. Of course, I say without removing too much and then immediately delete a wall. Yeah, so Kindred, if I can get Kindred to move his ass, because the dude is just kind of, he's the kind of modder who, like, he'll do something super fucking impressive, but he's just dicking around. Kindred doesn't really want to include it in the mod yet because he's a bit of a perfectionist, but also because he's a modder that just dicks around. He's kind of stuck in two places at once where he's like, yeah, I'll get around to making, and finishing the mod, and then you can include it. So if this release is done by July, I think Kindred might be back working on the shaders mod, but we'll see. Um, at the very least, I'll be doing my own performance inclusions. So one thing I want to work on is the texture set for the ground. So what I'll probably end up doing is changing all the ground textures because some of them in some areas, for instance, the swamp has 8K textures, I think. Um, and there's some 4K textures and 2K textures all around the world. So what I want to do is reduce these, which will improve no matter where you are. It'll improve them. But we'll see about his mod. His mod is, I think, he overestimates how people will react to a shitty shader. And like I said, he's a bit of a perfectionist, so he really wants people to enjoy everything uh, to the best of. Sorry, there was something on my mic. To the best of what he can make. Um, I'll probably include his particle mod. A lot of players seem to be benefiting from that, so I'll likely include that. Um, or make my own version. Um, let me see. So textures, particles will be unified and reduced. Um, some of the grass textures, if you guys don't know, are also like. Let me go find a place outside. So if you've never ever really looked at them, some of these textures for the grass, like this one, I think, are like 1K, and they don't look that great. So what I'll likely end up doing is reducing them a bit to maybe 512. And in some places with a whole lot of grass, depending on the grass type, I might even go as far as reducing them to 256. Um, Mostly because the grass, I doubt very many people look at the grass beyond like a distance like this. Um, and then Kindred was saying, so this is a full 3D model. Kindred was saying a bunch of the stuff he's gonna do, like decimation. Like this is super simple. Um, it's got some odd geometry, but it's just a super simple foliage piece. And then you have stuff like this, which is almost a flat plane. Yeah, so one of the things I want to do is allow players to be able to do something like this. I don't know if it'll show up in the city, but basically, if you're in a place with grass, it's going to have a lot of grass, but that grass, because of how it'll stack on top of each other, will be um, super low poly, or not super. It'll be super low poly because it's just tuning planes. It'll be super low textures, um, but you'll be able to increase the density. So you'll get the same, roughly the same visual fidelity, but at a lower cost. Um, More of a lesser something. All right, what are we working with? Morn. Also, by the way, whoever the fuck was watching me yesterday while I was streaming, why I'm so fucking mad. I uploaded that entire stream, the entire session to YouTube, and then it was like 12 at night, and I opened it up and I was like, huh, let me go watch this stream, see how it looks, you know what I mean? And I was just playing Borderlands 3. So I'm playing Borderlands 3 for like fucking 6 hours, but it didn't change the feed. So the whole stream is just this for 6 fucking hours. I was so fucking mad. Like nobody commented. Nobody commented and told me. Nobody commented in the stream and told me. I was just like, okay, thanks. Thanks for watching 6 hours. Because there was somebody in the stream for like 6, 7, 8 hours. However long I was playing yesterday, and nobody fucking said anything. Hey, I can hear the game audio, but I can't see the game. So, without even checking it, I uploaded it to YouTube, and it had like 10 views for like 2 hours. Like, people were watching like 2 hours into the stream. And so I'm like skipping around the video, and I'm like, what the fuck? There's no way I streamed the entire day yesterday, and nobody said anything. Uh, but yeah, so anyway, so I ended up deleting that video. I won't be making that mistake again, hopefully. Um, yeah. Yeah, and it was like wild because I was just like geeking the fuck out and just hanging out and talking and so anyway, so I'm sitting there and last night after I deleted that video, if you weren't here earlier, um, I found out that I have like 2 copyright claims already on my videos um, because of like 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds of like background noise that um, was like a song. I was just like, man, that's so fucking annoying. Yeah, it's not too bad because it's only like small clips, and most of them are when I'm silent. I can just cut that out of the video. Luckily, with YouTube Studio, and it just allows me to cut that cut that out directly. So problem solved. The copyright claim goes away. Most of the sections I've looked at tend to be good. But like I was saying when I first started the stream, I increased my noise gate on my microphone, so hopefully there's less background noise, and I increased my mic volume, so hopefully my mic is better. Also increased the game volume, so hopefully the game volume is better because I realized last night watching it on YouTube, even at max volume, those I I don't think YouTube. Okay, so on the political side of things, YouTube is a terrible fucking platform. But generally, I think YouTube is very big. And so they don't realize without incredibly directed feedback that um, they don't serve the best interests. Um, like they, so with the removing dislike feature, right? Um, I watched Ludwig interview Susan Wachowski or whatever the fuck her name is. So I watched that interview, and they were like, she was like, "Hey, listen, we didn't know how bad it was going to be." And Ludwig was just like, "Well, what do you mean you didn't know how bad it was?" And she was like, "Well, when we were testing the feature, we only tested it on mostly smaller channels. So we had channels that were like 1,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers, a million subscribers, and that's not the bulk of our platform, right? The bulk of our platform is like 1 million plus people um, that have very big voices. And so then you have smaller creators who are part of that sub community, right? Like you'll have like a 10,000 uh, subscriber who is subscribed to like 100,000 subscriber who is subscribed to like a 1 million subscriber channel, and all of those channels are part of the same quote unquote community. So she was like, yeah, our testing was just we it was bad, and now they have to stick by their decision because to some extent it is to protect smaller creators who get harassed, but at the end of the day you just look at it and you're like, yeah, this is a terrible fucking thing. And it's like, and I think a lot of it has to do with the political side having a lot more say in the overall terms of the platform. um, if you don't know, if you don't live in America, if you ever get the Chrome extension or the Chromium extension to re-enable dislikes, go to the White House YouTube and check out the amount of dislikes. And most of us that are in America think that the reason YouTube removed dislikes was because of that. It's wild. Basically, they got a lot of pressure from the political side of things, and it kind of made the platform better. They say it has to do with creators, but it's too coincidental um, to not be some sort of cause and effect there, which I think is stupid. A lot of platforms tend to be bowing to angry mobs. Um, do this or we're gonna cancel you. You know what I mean? And it's very stupid. Um, but it was a very constant thing for those who live in America to have this realization that yeah, our president is kind of not that great, really not that great right now. We would rather have the dumbass who can't keep his mouth shut back than we would somebody who doesn't even know where the fuck he's at most of the time. Seriously, I don't know. Like, if you guys are at all into American politics or you have any gumption to look them up, man, I would rather have somebody who's like just a dumbass and can't keep his mouth shut than I would somebody who genuinely is so old he has no idea what the fuck is going on. Any day of the week, I really would. Um, because it's absolutely wild. Okay, hopefully that fixes the walking through the mesh issue. Now there's a gate hidden in, or I mean a wall hidden in there. I think I'll do the same thing on this side. Um, I'll remove you because you don't really make that much sense up there. I like it, but you don't make much sense. All right, so we'll change this to a Morn.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of a logical. I could technically hide something up here like a power generator, um, and give the whole city power, like I do with some cities, like Mongrel. I'll give it a small town generator, and it produces like 500 power, and then I add some windmills on top of that, and it looks fine. Um, I really do wish that Kenshi had it supported a bigger and more vertical space better. Just Kenshi 1. Because do you know how fucking cool it would be to have a town on top of this? Like just this kind of iron platform with like giant beams going down, and then all of a sudden you've got like 1 level, 2 level, 3 level. I guess I could put windmills up there. Alright, anyways, let's get back to the city. I'll speculate a little later. Uh, is this a bar 1? Okay, I just crashed. Before I do that, let me just make a start 4 more. Open you. Duplicate. Mourn. Mourn. Can't type. Select Mourn. Save you. Open Genesis back up. I really can't believe I didn't. Let me see. Residence add generic afternoon. Stormhouse 2. We'll add in 5, 6 of these. Save that. Okay. Yeah, I really can't believe I didn't merge my or move my recent mod. Like I didn't do a double check. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. I'm good. Wipe the computer. No double checking, nothing. Sweet. Okay. Morn now has a bar 1. We will pause daytime. I need to create a new interior for him. Watch. So, how much use should this city have? Because I had this debate last time with myself, and I want there to be some functionality to the city when players first initially go there, but I do not want the city. I want the city to have the possibility to fall. If players are in the city, they have to defend it. Um, so I think there's going to be a bar, there'll be a general store, and there will be a thieves' tower. Um, but and there'll be a bunch of citizens. Um, and now it's a city. Okay, so if you don't know, uh, it's it's a big city, yes, but there's nothing in it for a reason. It's owned by the tech hunters, but because there are so many mobs around, it's one of the least defended cities, and it's constantly under attack by um, animals. Excuse me. So I want to add some citizens in to make them do stuff. Seem like the town has some function. Like there's a couple people living there, but I don't want the city to be a big blossoming functioning city. Like I want it to look destroyed, like people abandoned it, and then now you have a bunch of drifters coming in. Um, so for those who are curious, um, green nav mesh means that um, the nav mesh is working. Red surrounding something means you can't walk there. Um, Blue or red inside of walls means that it's a functional city, um, which is what I was looking for. So it turns out that putting this wall right here actually did correct the nav mesh issue. Um, Problem with these is that over time you welcome in the funny meme of endless civil war. Right. I do have a general idea of what to do for the thieves towers. Um, which is basically just making them stay fucking indoors. They won't have any interactions outside of the door. Yeah, I want there to be. So, if you don't know, when Greg first, he included something in this. Check my DM. Yeah, I know about that. Boron. Well, technically, I have a note to check it. Because I think it was Shadan who said something to me about it. Um, Also, hi Shunk. Um, what was I saying? Crazy. So I want the city to appear like it has a faction putting up a resistance, but I don't want that resistance to be so big that they're able to defend the city. More so like you have mercenaries who come in to use the place as a hub. You have um, mm, which actually gives me an idea that I could implement as a secondary step. Hold on, let me write it down before I forget it. Not in all caps. Uh, because that might free up some space and I might be able to remove lock. Um, which I think players would like. I like lock, but I'm not sold on it. Or rather, I like the idea of lock, but I'm not sold on it. What the fuck am I doing? Gates, walls, defensive gate, 4. Stop glitching out. Sure. Lock is the one with the triple headquarters, yes. Because I think what I can do. Hmm, let me remove foliage. Not water, foliage. Okay, so in case you guys are wondering what I'm thinking about doing. So I think what I can do is delete lock and then add it to mourn. But I would have to find So because right now it's owned by the tech hunters, it's basically an abandoned city. Used to be owned by the United Cities, I think. Otherwise, the implication is that the tech hunter uses slaves. Um, Let me see. So what we could do is delete lock, but then how would I get the player to start the quest chain? So let me see. Delete lock and see, because this is, hold on, let me see. F12 towns. So this is lock. This is new lock, arguably. But this also means that I would have to change how the city of lock functions, which isn't hard to do. It's right. Um, which is easy enough to do, but I'm thinking about the space and how it's done. It's a city of, so if you're wondering, ninjas, hivers, mercs, basically it's an entire city of thieves and vagabonds and um, stuff like that. That's why you have, yeah. Um, yep. I'm just trying to think of how I would want to do this, because I don't mind removing lock and implementing a quest in such a way that the players would be forced to go to mourn. But then comes the challenge of how do I implement that? Because there is no longer a Mercenaries HQ, there needs to be one. And I think what I can do is tie it into the hub quest line so that Chief Graw talks about looking for a place and wanting to take over Morn, which would then give you the quest to go and kill the White Gorilla, maybe pay them in batches or something like that. Um, but I also would then need to prep the city in such a way that Boron, I don't know if you have the gumption to do this, but is there any way, because you were looking at the mortar buildings, is there any way you can give them destroyed meshes? Because if anything, I want to use as much as I can more buildings in deserts. It's very deserty areas because it makes sense. They're made out of wood and what appears to be a clay concrete mix. Because if I can give them destroyed meshes, no. If they have destroyed meshes, then I don't, because they don't have destroyed meshes right now. If they do have destroyed meshes, um, then I can redo this entire city with more buildings. I don't know if you want to take a look at it, but I would suggest looking at Genesis, uh, because um, we have the textures from Forgotten Buildings. We have the all the changes Mechanica did. Yeah, crazy. That's what I'm talking about. So what I'm talking about right now, because Boron's in chat. Also, D Nation, thank you for the follow. Um, yeah. I don't know how the. I mean, more textures is always good. What I'm looking for though is basically I need a destroyed mesh, because if there's a destroyed mesh, even if they're simple, um, for all of these, then what I can do, like the saloon looks out of place. Um, so these are the assets. If they have like, yeah, okay, okay, okay. Let me know when those destroyed meshes are done, um, because I'll redo Morn on stream, um, and change all the buildings to destroyed versions of these. Um, God damn it, Isa. Also, hi, Isa. Um, yeah, if there's destroyed versions of these, then what I'll do this update, um, with the viewers is, I'm not even gonna fuck with more, because if I get those destroyed meshes, I'll just redo the entire city, um, and implement the quest line, um, so that the players will. This is what I'm thinking, and let me know what you guys think. Um, So you upgrade the hub, and then Chief Graw comes in. Chief Graw is the police guy, for the hub when you upgrade it. Right now, he doesn't have a secondary step beyond being a police chief. So his squad will act as police for the hub. He can then pass you on a quest, um, that is like, go and talk to somebody in Ironhaven, which will be the mercenary captain guy, and he'll give you the quest to go and kill the White Gorillo. The White Gorillo isn't here, which will be the new headquarters. So instead of adding an entire new city lock, what you will be doing is reclaiming Morn for the mercenaries. Um, and it'll have some function, and we can work on those, but it'll be mostly more buildings, um, which I think will be very befitting of the area. Um, and we can rebuild that on stream. And then do the quest line on stream. So I'm not even gonna fuck with Morn. Um, yeah, okay. I like that. We can just do that on stream. Boron sent me another asset if you guys want to take a look. So, he's thinking about doing darker textures, for uh, the more buildings. Um, so we'll see how they turn out. Um, But yeah, at a minimum, moron. Even if even if I sorry, I'm bumping my mic. Even if I don't use textures themselves, I probably will because the players are gonna want them, regardless. More variations, more color variations, I think open up a lot of creativity for the players. Um, at the very least, I'll take the destroyed meshes because I think that'll open up a lot of possibility for the player. Um, and I'll probably end up replacing all the current buildings with newer meshes since I know you're working on that with all the corrections and stuff like that. It's my bad. Is it buzzing? Am I still buzzing? Okay. So Isa, if you don't know, I have foliage turned off. Um, yeah. So I'm not gonna mess with Morn. Um, yeah. Well, no, it's a terrain feature. Static characters, foliage, terrain, map feature. It's a map feature, which